Officials are cracking down on those selling dietary supplements and vitamins spiked with unmarked illegal ingredients. Choosing the wrong ones can be dangerous and in some cases deadly, Sean. So how do we know which ones we should purchase?
I have no idea, but luckily we have somebody that does. Pharmacist Jim Morelli is here. How are you, buddy?
Good, great. Good
Great
to be
have
here.
you back. So what do we need to know about buying these dietary supplements and vitamins? I mean, sometimes you see the label, you just grab it, oh, it must have that.
Yes.
It's not always the case.
Well, you said see the label, which
Yeah.
is kind of key. And if you're just seeing it, that's one thing. If you're reading it, that's quite another.
Yes.
The biggest problem we've had with the supplement industry is that we haven't been able to fully have confidence that what's on the label is actually in the bottle. In fact, we've had some very high-profile cases in which people have gone to jail, people have paid fines because things were in the bottle that should not have been in there.
Wow.
So the first key is to try to make sure what's on the label's in the bottle, which seems obvious, right? But unfortunately, it has not been. One way you can, and I've got one here, this is some iron. There's something called the USP verified mark on here.
Okay.
It's small, but if you look for it, it's USP verified.
Well, circular situation. We have to see it on the other bottles.
And that stands for, USP stands for United States Pharmacopoeia, which is a nonprofit scientific organization out of Washington, D.C. And basically, they're a standard-setting organization. If you want to bring a prescription onto the market or any other type of drug, it must meet the standards set by USP. That's by an act of Congress. They now have a voluntary program for vitamins and supplements called USP Verified. Basically, supplement manufacturers would submit their products, and then USP would check to see, do they meet the standards for quality, purity, potency? Do they contain specified contaminants? Is the dose right? They also want to look and see, does it dissolve in the body so that you actually get what you paid for?
Of course.
If it meets those standards, then it will get the USP verified mark. It's kind of a peace of mind mark for the consumer. You kind of know what you're getting.
I mean, if you're selling bologna in a bottle, you can't just send it to the USP and get the mark. They'll be able to test it and see that it's bologna.
Correct. Hopefully nobody's putting bologna in a bottle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Well, how difficult is it to get that USP mark on a bottle? Is it an easy process?
No, the tests are very, very stringent because USP has a lot on the line. Its reputation as our nation's safeguard agency for drugs and prescriptions and non-prescriptions and even some food items as well. So no, they're very stringent tests, and if you fail them, you don't meet them, you don't meet them. And by the way, you cannot put on the market a drug in this country without it having been a USP certified. That's just the
Okay,
way
so you're
it
not going
is.
to go to a vitamin store and see any bottles that aren't marked USP?
Oh, no.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
thing, is
the
that
problem. It's
so they're still able
voluntary.
to go on the
Yeah,
shelf.
right.
When it comes to
without the mark.
prescription drugs, that's one thing.
Correct.
But when it
And
comes to
non-prescription.
supplements and vitamins, I read a whole article on this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no FDA oversight, really?
Yeah,
It's Wild West.
Vitamins and supplements are regulated as foods. The FDA does not step in with vitamins and supplements until and if something terrible were to happen. Like, let's say a lot of people started getting sick. Then the FDA can step in and do enforcement action. But otherwise, they are regulated as foods. So, consumers really have to be careful about what they're buying, especially if you're buying things like dietary promises of weight loss, promises to increase libido, promises to build muscles. These are generally multi-product supplements that you got to be careful with.
Yeah.
And what are some of the best vitamins that we should be taking to heal our body or to make our body better?
Well, yeah, it's a common question and not an easy one because everybody is different. And that's why I say get some advice before you decide to willy-nilly go down the shelves and pick up vitamins.
From who? Get advice from who?
Oh, get advice from your pharmacist and or your physician, nurse practitioner, whoever you happen to see for your medical care. But your pharmacist is a good place to start because they generally know if you're taking other medications or if you've got conditions. Like I've got iron here. Now you might say, I'm feeling tired, let me take some iron. Well, the problem with taking iron without consulting somebody is, let's say you have an ulcer and you take iron, you are probably going to aggravate that ulcer.
Wow.
So these things can, in fact, interact with other drugs. They also can interact with other conditions you might have. So that's why you kind of need to be careful about what you take. That said, probably everybody could benefit from a multivitamin, a good multivitamin.
Of course,
Of
which I
course,
try to take in the morning. I think so few people think to take that bottle that's 15 feet away from the counter and actually bring it to the pharmacist. We only end up talking to our pharmacist about what they give us, but we can actually bring something to them and make sure it's on
Is
their
this good for my body,
Yes.
for my past, my history, and my medical history? Does this coincide with it?
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely ask the pharmacist. They are there to help, and they don't mind breaking away from that routine they're doing back there. And I know because I've done it to help somebody answer some questions, especially about vitamins and supplements, because it is a big world out there.
So interesting. What are some of the bottles you have here for us today?
Well, we've got, of course, fish oil, which
My
are
goodness.
good for the heart.
That's a
That's
big
a
one.
lot.
The whole fish.
No bologna in
Calcium
here,
for
but-
bones. By the way, get advice on calcium too, because if you've got any kind of cardiac issues, you want to make sure you should be taking calcium.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
There's so much that vitamin C, mega dosing of vitamin C, I don't buy it. I don't think it's a good idea. It can actually upset the stomach and upset your urinary tract. A lot of people do it. I don't think it's unreasonable to take a vitamin C, but to take a lot of it in the wintertime, I don't think it's a good idea.
There we go.
Call me a child, but I like the chewy vitamins.
You know what?
These are all.
You are not the first person who has said that, adult who said that. And actually, the interesting thing is chewy vitamins and or liquid vitamins get
Go into the
absorbed more
system
quickly.
faster, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jim,
So-
pleasure as always, buddy.
Oh, it's good
Thank
to
you,
be here.
Jim. Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you
of
look for
course.
that USP label when you're
Yes.
buying vitamins and supplements. Their verified mark shows a company's deep commitment to good quality. And if you want more information, you can head to that website on your screen. Stay with us. We'll be back.